Dear Grandpa, storytelling is a tradition upheld in all cultures, and ours is no exception. But the only story I was given as a child was that our family came from Lithuania. To me, a magical place that was special because so few people had heard of it. I did not know at the time that this was in part because Lithuania had only recently been born again, a mere 7 months before myself. And it was as if that shared birth year guaranteed me a telepathic link to our mother country. And through that link, Lithuania sent me a piece of herself. She turned me into a poet. See, in Lithuania, the most celebrated historical figures are writers. They did not print politicians on their money, but the 100 lita bill bore an image of Simonas Daukantas, the author of the first Lithuanian history text. And you would be hard-pressed to find a city that does not have a Daukantas Avenue. In Lithuania, words are the heartbeat that keep people alive. Words are so important that in the late 19th century, when the Russian occupation declared printing books in Lithuanian illegal, thousands of people risked their lives to smuggle them into the country and set up underground schools to ensure their children never lost their language. It is considered one of the greatest failures by one country to oppress another. One of the proudest moments of my life was learning that I was descended from a Kinignesis. What could be more fitting for a writer than to come from a family of book smugglers? So I'm writing this letter to ask why you never told me stories of your childhood. Why you never told me how your own grandfather once defied the law for the love of words to ensure that his language would never be erased. But by the time I was born, you no longer had the words to tell a story, because you willingly handed them to the man with the eraser and left me to cobble together my history like the streets of Old Town Vilnius. We come from a nation of fighters. Tell me, Grandpa, when did you stop fighting? In 11th grade, I first heard about The Jungle, a book by Upton Sinclair written to document the poor working conditions of Lithuanian immigrants in the meatpacking industry. And because you never told me my great-grandparents worked in a boarding house, not as meat packers, I read it and labeled it history. I used it as a backbone to construct a fictional tale about cold Chicago winters, hard living conditions, and the people who told your parents they did not belong in this country. It seems our family just left one land of oppression for another. Maybe the reason America is so successful is that rather than demand your tongue, she hands you a pair of rusty scissors as a welcoming gift. But like my great-great-grandfather, I was given no choice. Even if I name my daughters Saule and Audra, I will have to smuggle their history to them word by word. With bleeding tongue, I will build them a school out of family anecdotes to teach them all the things you never told me. We come from a nation of fighters, from a family of book smugglers. Words are our heartbeat, and each and every one of them is worth speaking.